month long, News 3 has been shedding a light on the horrors and reality of human trafficking.
And this morning we are highlighting how survivors heal and how we can all help them along the journey. Our Penny Commit's been digging into this issue. Penny, good morning.
I spoke with experts who explain how being trafficked can literally change the makeup of your brain and why sometimes all survivors need is a little patience.
If they didn't start to learn how to work with manipulation, they'd be dead.
Imagine spending every day in fear that it could be your last. Dee Wallace with the Department of Homeland Security Investigations says that's the reality for victims of human trafficking.
You and I would never understand that the first person that tells you that I love you and I care about you is somebody that's also brutalizing you as they're doing it.
Some of my clients have had traumatic experiences 10, 20, 30 times a day.
Kelly Andrews is a Virginia Beach psychologist who also works with trafficking survivors. She says victims develop coping techniques to protect themselves, and that can have a permanent impact on the body.
Research shows that it can change your DNA.
But experts say the damage doesn't have to be permanent. The first step to recovery is admitting they're a victim.
When I talk to people and they're like, oh, they did all these dates, I'm like, oh, so they were raped. And they're like, why are you saying that? And I'm like, why are you saying it's a date?
People are really amazing at compartmentalizing and pushing things down.
The latest data from the Human Trafficking Hotline shows 31% of victims are recruited by a family member, 27% an intimate partner, people who are supposed to love and protect them, making their worst nightmares come true.
And the moms are told, unless you make a certain amount of money, you don't even know where your child is. So you're living in that chaos and in that emotional moment every single day, every single hour.
And living in constant chaos, research shows, has a significant impact on the human brain. Let's explain.
So your prefrontal cortex, when it's attached to your limbic system inside, and your brainstem, when they're all attached and they're working, that's a safe environment.
When experiencing trauma, your prefrontal cortex, which allows you to make rational decisions, opens. That disconnects it from your limbic system, which controls your emotions. When the two separate, people can become irrational. So people quite literally flip their lid.
It's like taking a baseball cap off. You can't think straight. And you can't think straight because your prefrontal cortex is not working in conjunction with your limbic system.
And imagine that baseball cap being taken off several times a day, forcing you to constantly live in a state of fight or flight.
So if your brain is at this function where it's looking for danger at all times and it's more that high level, people aren't going to be able to concentrate in school. They're not going to be able to fulfill, a dream of going to college.
So can people ever fully heal from being trafficked?
Yes. I always tell clients if you couldn't recover, I wouldn't be in this business.
Reestablishing those connections in the brain can take weeks or even years.
It takes time, but it definitely happens. Therapy is going to help a person understand that they can connect with people and they can live a healthy, happy life.
Andrew says victims must learn to reprocess memories, and they can do that through therapy.
Trauma creates the need for protection, not connection, and instead therapy is going to help a person understand that they can connect with people and they can live a healthy, happy life.
Andrews and Wallace agree. No matter the trauma, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
I can't imagine being raped. I can't imagine being sexually assaulted or physically abused to the degree that they are, but they still get up every single day. They still try to find joy. So it's like an incredible gift that I feel like I get to meet people like this because it just shows me the strength and character that a survivor has. So if you know someone who's survived being trafficked, be patient and understand that their brain may work a bit differently. When interacting with survivors, experts say start with basic questions. Something as simple as, do you want a glass of water, can help survivors regain some control and feel more comfortable. I'm Penny Commit, News 3.